I don't know why, but my bitrate isn't the best in this video. Like, it's set to 10,000 in OBS, but still was bad. But I've already recorded all of my footage, so I'm going to try and get by with it, so apologies for that. I've collected up loads of gunpowder from my mob farm last episode, and crafted all into rockets. I'm going to need a lot of rockets for today's episode, as it's an exploration episode. There are a load of structures in Minecraft, and I want to visit the best of them, as well as some of the new ones added in the recent 1.21 update. So today, I'm going to visit every major structure in the game, collecting all of the new armor trims, as I want all of them. The first structure I want to visit is the Trail Ruins, as I've never been to one, and I want to check them out. So I crafted some new brushes and set out for the Trail Ruins. There are 4 armor trims that can only be found in the Trail Ruins: Wayfinder, Razor, Shaper, and Host, all at an 8.2% chance to come out of suspicious gravel, so I might be here a while. And a while I was here for. I found out quite quickly that I wasn't very good at the whole being an archaeologist thing, and I definitely should have done more research going into this as to what the hell I was looking for. On many occasions did I break suspicious gravel by accident, as I didn't know how to properly loot these structures. What was that, a fucking piece of suspicious gravel? Oh, fuck me all about. Ooh! I forgot about these. Oh, fucking brilliant! Yeah, I love that! Oh yeah, those are a beacon of usage, aren't they? I searched for a while in the Trail Ruins, mining up terracotta, bricks, digging up pottery shards. Ooh! Is this the same fucking thing? Oh no, that's a different one. That's a doggy, and that's a shit. I want a piece of blue dye! Till eventually, this happened. Oh! Yes! Yes, I found one! I found one! Yes! Yes! Razor armor trim. Okay. That's my first armor trim, let's go! Why is there a cauldron here? That's 1 down, 3 more to go. Let's hope I don't get a crazy amount of duplicates. Oh! Oh! Oh, that's new! That was new! No, it's fucking not! I decided to install a texture pack that would show me a red outline around suspicious sand and gravel, just to make my life a little easier. Call it cheating if you want, but A, it's an altered vanilla tweaks pack, B, it does nothing to give me an advantage because if my eyes worked I'd see the gravel anyway, and C, I don't care. Seeds! Oh my god! Is that the same one? Wait. Oh fuck, it is! We've got 3 of the same one! Oh, this is gonna be painful, isn't it? Armor trim. Lead! Fuck you! Yes! That's new! That's new! That's new! Yes, I fucking know that's new! Yes! Wayfinder! 2 down! Oh.
Hi, my name is Trey. I have a basketball game tomorrow.
Hello. Hi, sir. With Wayfinder and Razor found, all I need now are Shaper and Host. Something tells me these 2 are going to be an absolute pain to get. Yes! That's another one! Yes! Yes! Is that new? That's new! Yes! Host armor. Host. We only have 1 more left. Yeah, there's only 1 more left in the Trail Ruins. Not Trial Chambers. We'll get to that. Host came quite quickly. Now comes the pain of finding the final armor trim. I predicted it was going to be a pain, and I was not mistaken. Wait, please for the new one. Please for the. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. It's fucking not, is it? I don't want a chicken nugget. This is going to take the piss, isn't it? Wait, yes, please. Come on, please. Oh. No, it's not it. One. No, please. I don't want to brick. Please. No, I don't want fucking blue dye. God, please. No, I have 5 of all of them. It's an armor trim. It's not a new one. Please. That's not it. Please. That's not it, is it? Please, wait, please, wait. Yes! Always! Oh my god! Fucking hell, finally! Oh, it's there! Oh, that took too long. No, I'm done. I'm out. Fuck this. With 3 trail ruins explored and 3 hours of my life wasted, I finally got all 4 of the armor trims from the trail ruins. But that's just the beginning. We have a lot more to collect, some more difficult than others. Next up, I want to tackle some of the easier ones. I'm just going to go and collect all of the trims from smaller structures with higher spawn rates, just to get the ball rolling a little bit more. Also because I need a break after what happened to the trail ruins. Aww, it's an armadillo. Never forget what you did to the fucking penguin. Firstly, I'm going to go for the wild armor trim, found in jungle temples. I live right near a jungle and my world spawns in a jungle, so one shouldn't be too far. There it is, found it. I went in, channeling my inner Lara Croft and Indiana Jones, and looked around for the armor trim. And yeah, there wasn't one in the first one. Great, so got fucking nothing. Woo! Typical, ain't it? So I had to find another one. Oh, there we go. Wasn't that hard? Easily done. Now on to the next one. I barely even scratched the surface in the stronghold when I went to the end, so I'm gonna go there next. Apart from the portal room, I have no idea how to loot these, so I'm gonna try my best. All I know about strongholds is that the chests are few and far between, and the library is good for loot. So my goal is to find a library, which took surprisingly ages. There we go. Easy. It's already here. Might as well go and get the Spire one. After killing Zubat, I headed to the Outer End Islands to find more end cities, and this just reminded me that I hate shulkers. Not that I needed the reminder, but I got it. Not to mention this trim has a 6.7% chance to spawn in an end city. Fuck, I wish I got one of these the first time I went to an end city. Yeah, there we go! Fuck you! Oh my god, I hate shulkers, I hate everything, I hate... Piss off. No. Right, enough end. Let's get back to business in the overworld. Next structure I want to visit is the Pillager Outpost for the Sentry Armor Trim. For some reason there wasn't an outpost for miles, so that's really fun. Plus I didn't find it first try. Though I figured while I was there, I should gather up some bad omen bottles as I was going to need them for later. My first outpost netted me nothing, so I set out for the next one. Yeah, there we go. Oh my fucking god, you're taking a piss. I swear to god that better be the fucking... Oh my god. What you just heard was my reaction to the closest desert temple to me that I saw on Chunkface, which wasn't close, but it had to be done, so I set out and hoped and prayed that I'd get it, which thankfully... Oh my god, thank god. Let's say I'm not travelling all that fucking distance just to not get it. The final of the easier trims to get was the Tide Armor trim, obtained from the Elder Guardians at a 20% chance. Unfortunately, I didn't get one when I tackled the Ocean Monuments in episode 5, so I was going to need to tackle more of them. I found another Ocean Monument last episode, so I figured I'd take that one on. Though I only want to kill 2 of the Elder Guardians, as I would have want one left close enough to my base for some future projects, so I don't have to travel 25k blocks to bring back another one. Didn't get it. Unfortunate. Do you know what else I haven't gotten? Mining fatigue. There we go. Finally got it. As I'm about to leave because I didn't get the armor trim. Well, that was unfortunate. Time to go find another one. Oh, got it! Never mind. Let's get out of here then. That was easier than I was expecting. Do you reckon we can get some more coasts? Bet they'll be in here. Bet you £100. Okay, edit out the part that I just said I owe £100. I take back what I said. With all of those collected, there are only 6 more armor trims that need to be collected. Vex, Rib, Bolt, Flow, Ward, and Silence. Some of these are going to be easier than others, so I want to start with the easiest. The Rib armor trim is found in Nether Fortress chests at a 6.7% chance. Chests in Nether Fortresses are few and far between, as well as being hidden quite deep into them, so finding one was going to be a task and a half. Or so I thought. Yes! There we go. It happened surprisingly quickly. The next one I decided to go for is the Vex Armour Trim, found in Woodland Mansions. I mean, this is one way to give the structure some usage. I got out my map and set out for the mansion. Though I quickly found out that the mansion on the map was in Uzbekistan, as I was flying for what felt like years. Oh my god! Mushroom Island. Wow. I was not expecting this. I'll be on my merry way. So I resorted back to Chunk Base. I can't say I didn't try to do it legit. Do you know what, I'm gonna sleep? Because I just straight up don't trust the structure. I'm gonna fucking die. With that death under my belt, my goal changed from being reckless and silly to stealthy and careful. Thankfully, the trim has a 50% chance of spawning, so I shouldn't be here for long. Yep, I'm out. Fuck this. Bye. 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 Fuck you. I've got the Vex Armour Trim and I'm fucking leaving. Shit this. No. No. I don't ever want to go back to that thing again. Piss off. No. Now that I've made my opinions on Woodland Mansions as clear as day, I'm going to be visiting a structure that is infinitely more difficult to traverse. Not only that, but there's not one, but 2 armor trims in this structure, one at a 1% spawn rate. I'm pretty sure everyone knows which one I'm on about here. It's time to visit the ancient city. I brewed up a fuck ton of night vision potions for the ancient cities, as my Fulbright mod hasn't been updated to 1.21 just yet, and I want to make the viewing experience somewhat manageable. And with that, I set out for an ancient city. Fuck, I'm scared. I did some pretty solid live commentary to the ancient cities, so I'm going to let recording me talk for a bit. Yes! It's the first one. It's not the last one. Oh my god, I hate this. Another ward armor trim. Okay, I think I'm okay. I don't like this. In my professional opinion, this should have a silenced armor trim in it. Doors? I want to leave. I'm surprised I haven't spawned a warden yet. I set that off? Just sneak 3, right? Okay. We just need the silence. No. No. No! He's spawning, isn't he? Where is he? Oh my god. I've pissed him off. Do you know what? After interacting with a warden, I think I know what chronic overthinkers go through. There's a warden here, but I think I've gone through all of the chests. So I don't think he really matters. You hear that, warden? You don't matter. You're a nerd. No one likes you. Bitch. Oh my god, that was so stupid! No, that wasn't my intention! Fuck, 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 fuck. Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god, get me the fuck out of it! Go, 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 go. And with that, my adventures through the ancient cities are over, and I never want to go back there again. Fuck that. Now I have every armor trim in the game. Every one. Except the 2 new ones added in 1.21. Fun. These 2 armor trims, Bolt and Flow, can be found in the new trial chambers, so I'm going to have to go to one of those for the first time. I have no idea how these structures work. I barely looked at the snapshots. I did my research before going into a trial chamber and figured out that in order to get the armor trims, I was going to need trial keys for Bolt and ominous keys for Flow. This is why I gathered up some bad omen potions from the pillager outpost earlier in the video, as I was going to need them for the trial chambers. Thankfully, if I was able to take on all the trials, then drink an ominous bottle, I'd be able to redo all the trials and get all the keys that I possibly could from one trial chamber. I hope all of this is making sense to you because I'm struggling to follow. So I did exactly that. I took on the trials with intent of getting as many keys as I could. I'll be honest, these trials actually posed a fair challenge. Not in the sense that I was struggling, but in the sense of it being difficult and fun to take on. Unfortunately, the keys weren't guaranteed, so I didn't get a key from every spawner I took on. Alright, my first trial vault. Oh my god, I got it so quickly, what the fuck? The flow armor trim is really common, 22.5% chance, so no surprise I got it so quickly. Now it's time for the difficult one. The bolt armor trim, coming in at a whopping 6.3% chance from a regular trial vault. I was going to need to take on a lot of trials for this, so I wasted no time and got to killing. Yes, there we go! Finally! Fucking hell! And with that, I had finally collected all of the armor trims that are in Minecraft. Now, I could stay here and get a mace, but in all seriousness, I don't really care about the mace. I'll come back for it when I want the advancements. I'm not bothered about getting one now. I headed straight back home and decided on the armor trims I'd like to use for my armor set. After a while of choosing, I settled on silence for the helmet, bolt on the chest plate, tied on the leggings, and flow on the boots. All with redstone as their material, as I personally like the look of black and red, plus it holds sentimental value to me. And this will be the extent of my usage of armor trims. No, I am not going to collect every armor piece in Minecraft. I actually have a life, job, and girlfriend. I don't have time for that shit. And that is it for this episode of Minecraft, and I hope you did enjoy it. Next episode will be the start of me expanding this world into more of what I want to do with it. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button and share with a friend if you think they'd be interested. And until next time, goodbye.